Yes. So if you didn't know, Storm and Friends are trying to make a organizational body to sort of govern breaking, not only within Europe, but they're looking to sort of govern breaking worldwide in hopes of providing more prosperity for breaking, providing more prosperity for the community, more guidance, more leverage, more unification. Essentially, we have a WDSF at home moment. Personally, I think this is important. I think a lot of us sort of agree that the WDSF didn't really represent the needs and the desires of the community very well. Some of us might be aware of the bits and pieces of corruption that were present in the WDSF, specifically with a big bad Bojin. So essentially what we're trying to do here is we're trying to create a not corrupt, efficient organizational body. At least that's what I assume the IOB is trying to be. All I'm going to do today is I'm just going to examine the first pieces of promotional media that the IOB has released. And we're also going to have a look through the IOB's website just to see the who's who and the what's what of the IOB and what exactly we're going to be in store for. Boom. So this is the IOB official Instagram page. Pretty cool, funky logo if you ask me. We've got a couple of different posts here already. This is a Storm and Renegade project, as you can tell. Okay. Storm, focus, spin. Don't know that guy. Renegade. Don't know that guy. Don't know that guy. Don't know that guy. Don't know that guy. I-O-B. Okay. A little bit of a spicy ad lib. And within this first post, we already kind of have a little bit of pushback, maybe a little bit of sort of critique, a bit of scrutiny from the general breaking community. Okay, so let's have a look at the official hard launch trailer.
Breaking has always been the movement of the people. We started on our own and we grow on our own terms.
We're building the IOB, the International Organization.
Okay, this guy is
a structure built from the ground
from Europe.
We have the talent, we have the history, and now it's time to build a structure that reflects who we truly are.
Our vision is simple: a democratic global federation where the community decides the course.
Where member organizations have a real voice and a clear direction.
To the organizers, the teachers, and the community leaders who are doing the work on the ground, we're calling on you to take part.
The first step is to come together to lay the blueprint.
Real change happens when we move together as one community.
Because your voice carries a strong weight.
A global league.
Okay, so we've got some voices from Asia.
While pushing the limits of the discipline.
Protecting the legacy, developing the grassroots.
Sharing practices from
across
the globe.
All of this with full transparency and accountability.
Okay, transparency and accountability.
We know our value. We know our culture. It's time to take the lead.
From here, we build the future together.
All right, let's see who's tagged. Let's look at some of the cosigns. I'll chuck this on. We'll check this out later. But I'm just going to sort of ping pong and echo off some of the comments that we have here. First one is from Wanda. How will you make sure the countries with the most funding don't automatically become the countries with the most influence? None of you guys live in the USA or are from here, so how is this going to work? I get that it can work in Europe or another part of the world, but in USA, how are you guys going to tell us what is what when you guys are over there? Democratic Global Federation? Question mark. Many European countries have systems where governments support youth programs, arts education, cultural organizations, sports federation, community centers, and more. Because of this, breakers may have access to funded training programs, paid coaching positions, government-backed events, facilities, grants, and her comment kind of got cut off by Instagram's word count. So yeah, this is obviously like the first glaring issue that we have with the IOB right now as of July 2026. So why is it important to have a American voice within the IOB? Well, simply put, breaking is, what is it? American culture. It's African American culture, it is Latina culture, it is culture of historically marginalized communities from the Bronx specifically, USA. So to not have anyone sort of representing this community, representing the true roots of break-in within the IOB, that's a little bit sussy. For now, just voicing this concern is already a good contribution. We need a lot more discourse in the present and future. Okay, so this is kind of just like an acknowledgement of her concerns. Okay, I guess that's kind of a start. Storm is about it. Dietrich is there. Aeronetic has commented, okay, potential US representative. And here's an official response from the IOB to Wanda's aforementioned comment. Thank you for sharing such an important perspective. You've highlighted challenges that breakers everywhere face in many parts of the world. This lack of infrastructure and economic hardship are even more severe. Okay, so the IAB we can kind of tell what the IAB is trying to remedy and what the IAB is trying to fix. That's exactly why the IAB exists. Yes, we are an international organization, not a European one. So we already did have some Asian voices. Governance is strictly democratic. One country equals one vote, meaning money or funding does not equal influence. By pooling our efforts globally, we can build sustainable infrastructure and demand the support our scene deserves everywhere, including in the USA. So feel free to DM us, check the link in bio, to join the conversation. Okay, cool. Let's just have a quick look at who was mentioned in this video. Let's just see where they're from and what they're representing. Let's see whether or not they're actually good, right? So many breakers were featured in this video. Adam Hefo-Stefanski, not sure where this person is from. Looking like Poland. Okay, so he looks like he is a teacher of break-in. Looks like he's someone who throws camps and organizes activities within Poland. Okay, so he's someone who definitely needs a job from break-in. Okay, from France. Okay, this is kind of another academic, I guess. Any breaking footage at all? Okay, we might have a WDSF situation again. Okay, that's fine. I mean, she looks like she has knowledge in history and all that good shit, so whatever. Okay, Loud Bass, developing hip-hop in Africa. It all started in Africa. Okay. Another sort of hip-hop guy, organizer person. All right, so it's kind of comprised mainly of organizers so far, right? Okay, so someone who's judging. So far it looks like the people who are sort of on this committee are parts of an older generation, right? They're people who are teaching, they're people who are organizing events. There's sort of one glaring problem that I'm already kind of starting to sniff on. Why is everyone on this organization Loki a dinosaur? I would like to entrust the future of the youth to the youth, and right now I'm just not sure I can catch what is being thrown. The best breakers don't necessarily mean the best organizational members. They don't make the best organizers, but I do feel like their voices are somewhat important. How are you going to organize a competition if you've never competed before, right? Okay, this is more trivium heads. So people who have organizational experience. This one is this one's a bit weird. Do any of you guys know who this guy is? Because I sure as hell don't. Does not look incredibly active within the breaking world. Maybe there could have been better Korean candidates than this fella right here. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but again, do we really feel like entrusting the future of break-in to pop stars? On what grounds was this guy chosen? This is what I want to know. On what grounds were these people chosen? What competence are they displaying that makes them so desirable for this IOB? This is kind of like a suspicious pick. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Okay, of course, Storm, the professor, the genius, the philosopher. Yes. Okay, sure. He's kind of spearheading the whole operation. Spin from the UK, organizing, coaching, doing bits. Okay, he's kind of knowledgeable about the scene. Sure. Well, we'll see what Sunny has to say. This guy is from Indonesia. Interesting. Okay. I'm not here to assess how good or bad these judges are at break-in. I think I'm more here to assess what their relationship to breaking is, especially because a lot of us have probably never seen these guys before. Content creator right here. This is a fellow from Netherlands. Okay. So event organizer, coach types so far. Okay, there's Renegade. Okay, yes. Storm's best friend. Beatmaster is on here, so okay, we've kind of got a cosign from someone who appears to be more invested in the community, so I think that's okay. But again, it's sort of like the WDSF. It kind of looks like a hodgepodge mix of people who I'm not sure if breaking and the desires of the community are in their best interest. This is like my first impression based on the people who are in this video. Okay, and of course, focus the guy, the boss, the chef. We've got this person from South Africa. I don't really care about how good or bad they are at breaking. Again, I'm just here to see whether or not they actually show up to events and show up to community events and grassroots events, and whether or not they're actually supporting the scene and the country that they come from. So far, it's, I don't know, iffy. As we can see already, cons, transparency required. On what grounds have these people been selected for? Why? All right, here's the official website. The floor is ours IOB logo. Let's just go through it together. It's all on one landing page, so we don't have to worry about going here or there. Breaking has always been a movement of the people. We didn't wait for permission to start, and we don't need permission to grow. Okay, I'm with you there. The International Organization for Breaking is here to prove the structure that reflects who we truly are. We're an NFP based in Switzerland, so of course, EU base, created to represent, develop, and promote breaking internationally. Goal is to set agency over breaking's future. Okay, guys, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? Are we about it? Do we fuck with it? Culture and, what is it? The capital S word. They said the S word. Sport. The IOB is a governing body for sports, but also a cultural federation. Okay, are we starting to have the flashbacks yet, guys? We recognize the importance of the competitive arena while ensuring that breaking has a legitimate voice in artistic, educational, and lifestyle domains. Okay. Competitions and sports. Right, so we are trying to industrialize hip-hop. Govern with integrity, represent and govern breaking in all its forms at the international level, preserve the heritage, protect and transmit the cultural heritage and traditional elements of breaking. You can start by doing this by co-signing or getting someone from the states to be a member. Empower the grassroots, support the creation of national breaking organizations and empower community leaders. Okay, this is kind of good. Sure. Professional standards, organize high quality, fair and transparent events and competitions held to the highest standards. Pursue official recognition as the international governing authority for breaking. Okay, so these guys are kind of trying to be the leading body, the leading voice, the leading authority on breaking in a sport competitive aspect. This is sort of what I'm gathering so far. To me, this is sort of what I feel like this organization was made for, to create a global circuit of WDSF-like events that can sort of attract sponsorship and attract interest from governments around the world. This is sort of what I'm trying to gather, or this is sort of what I predict the IOB will try to do and try to achieve. WDSF-like circuit of competitions to attract capital and government sponsorship. Breaking remains authentic, self-governed, true to its roots. Not sure if these people can really speak on behalf of the whole world, but dear fellow breakers from all corners of the world, I am reaching out with a vision and a call to action. Our art form, breaking, has become a global phenomenon, celebrated and practiced across cultures and continents. Yet many of us recognize the urgent need for collective action. You can kind of read this all for yourself. If we do not organize ourselves politically and establish a governing body created by the community for the community, breaking will remain vulnerable to exploitation, misrep, and control by institutions that prioritize their agendas over the essence of our culture. Okay, based on the evidence, based on what I've seen so far, the IIB just might be an institution that might prioritize its own agenda over the essence of the culture. I kind of predict that maybe the competitive sports-like component of the dance will be... I predict the emphasis will be on the sport-like essence. Okay, I predict the IIB... but is the IIB already not an institution that might prioritize the sport-like nature of the dance over the essence of hip-hop culture? This is an invitation to begin a dialogue. Okay, great. So this is Storm's project. This is Storm's doing. I reviewed his book. He's got a big brain. He has been breaking as a full-time job since the dawn of time. I think we can trust Storm. Together we can lay the foundation for a future where breaking remains authentic, self-governed, and true to its roots. People need to make cases for themselves now to be in the conversation in regards to the IOB. Maybe I'm reading into this too much. Like I said, just because the IOB exists doesn't mean we can't have in and out ciphers and cool shit at the end of the day. But maybe it might feel like the culture is getting watered down, especially because the sports-like aspect of breaking is probably the most popular thing right now. All right, let's have a look. Okay, so this is already sort of broken down into a hierarchy. Or am I reading this wrong? General Assembly, which is the highest authority, supposedly. National members vote on key decisions, okay. Elects a committee responsible for higher tier tasks like strategy and governance and planning for the future. And then this committee elects an executive board to carry out operations and decisions between meetings. Okay, so as you can tell here, people within the IAB will already be susceptible to influence from each other. Once this General Assembly is made and then elects this management committee, what happens here at the executive board is up in the air. Our roadmap and milestones, phase 1, foundation, establish philosophical, legal, and visual bedrock of the organization, define mission, vision, and core values. Okay, logo and branding, comms, okay, launch. This is it. Rep breakers across the globe through national and associate memberships. All right. Recruit people to develop the organization through working groups. Okay. Scaling and professionalizing. To set out standards for sport and provide tangible value through education, certification, and event synchronization. Okay. Red flag alert. Education, certification, and event synchronization just screams WDSF to me. Kind of just screams that the IAB is looking to, like I said, make a circuit of its own sort of WDSF-like events that are similar in branding, similar in feeling, similar in staff and judging staff probably as well. And of course, certification probably means that they're probably going to organize some sort of trivium certification system whereby you need this certification to be a judge at an IAB event. Develop fair, transparent protocols for competition, judging, and safeguarding, and professional development. Okay, great. Inaugural events, General Assembly, and international gathering. I can already tell that being a part of this organization is probably going to be costly. I feel like there's probably going to be membership fees, just like how it was to be a judge for the WDSF. You're probably going to have to fly yourself out to events and compendiums and shit like this. And it's probably going to be the situation of whoever has the most personal funding available to pursue this position of governance. So that's great. Not. We welcome national organizations that represent breaking at a national level, as well as associate members and honorary members, individuals who have served the community, cultural NGOs, and event organizers. Okay, to me, this sounds like it's sort of almost gatekeeping those who are working at a grassroots level. To me, this sort of says if you already are not a part of a national breaking body, like something like Ozbreak or Breaking USA or Ukrainian Breaking or whatever like global associations there are that already exist for breaking. If you're not a part of that, then it might be hard for you to sort of get a leap and join the IOB. If you're just a guy who cares about showing up to practice, showing up to every jam, doing right by your community, to be honest, it doesn't really sound like you have a place here. We have honorary members, but honorary, I'm not sure how much agency and voice you would have as an honorary member. Foundation. Okay. How does the IAB protect the culture? Authenticity is a core principle. Our statutes specifically mandate the preservation of historical practices, artistic expressions, and community-based knowledge. Okay, I mean, we'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it. What makes this different from other federations? The IAB is built from the ground up. It is an inclusive democratic federation where member organizations have a real vote, real voice, and a clear direction rather than having rules imposed from the top down. Governance, unification of breakers worldwide, good thing. The people who are having the most organizational power and the most agency to decide the future of breaking, these people need to be scrutinized the most. This is my issue. The IAB says that it's not going to put its own agenda or an agenda of any other third party above the culture, but it's hard for me to tell. I mean, I'm kind of just getting flashbacks to the WDSF era. How do I get involved with the IAB? If you're part of a national federation focused on breaking, encourage that federation or association to join the IAB. Okay, so this is already kind of like what the fuck? Like, how are you already sort of excluding the voice of the people who actually matter, the community, the youth. If you run a breaking organization that has an international reach, get in touch with us directly. Your organization may be able to become an IAB member. This just really feels like the push forward within the industrialization of breaking. I just don't like it. I don't really fuck with it. To be part of the IAB, you already have to be a high-ranking member of a national breaking council. What sense is that? Is it just for competitive sport? No, sport is a foundational but subordinate element of the IAB. Okay, so guys, don't say we didn't get warned. Sport is a foundation of the IAB. It's not the only foundational element, but it is a foundational element. So just be wary. We are a democratic NFP. Okay, great. Does the IAB replace existing national groups? No, the IAB supports the creation and recognition of national breaking orgs, uniting them into a self-determined international network. But so far, I don't really feel like there are any national organizations that are doing a terribly great job of unifying their scenes. Or I might be wrong. Ozbreaking's influence, at least in Australia, it's not really felt on the grassroots community level. Yes, they throw circuit events once every 3 to 4 months throughout the calendar year. But beyond that, it doesn't really feel like it's providing much else, in my opinion or in my experience. But Australian breakers, Australians who have been following Ozbreaking, feel free to comment otherwise, please. All right, be part of the blueprint. IB will serve as a global directory and an admin hub for the community. Be the first to know when we launch our member portals and global resources. Okay, great. If you need a content producer, hit me up, please. Or maybe I'll hit you up, whatever. Okay, so you guys have sort of gathered the information here. Feel free to comment what you think, or feel free to tell the IAB what you think. Here's what I think. Pros, cons, predictions, suggestions. Great, let's do it. Pros. Unionization of breakers worldwide to provide leverage and bargaining power with big scary corporations, Red Bull, and government officials. Yay. Okay, great. I'm all for it. I'm all for the unionization of breakers, to have standards, to have support networks. That's another one. Global support network and knowledge base for breakers plus general public. Good PR for breaking and hip hop in general. It could be good PR for breaking and hip hop in general if you decide to endorse the right individuals. Exclamation mark. Not sure how I feel about Mr. K-pop being on this lineup. I can't lie. Cons. First glaring con, besides the one that I put here, why is everyone an unk? I just feel like a specific demographic of breakers will be catered for. That is the person who is organizing events, the person who is working as a coach or a teacher, but I can't tell if this will really benefit the youth on the ground. Specifically, an unk who might be out of touch with the younger generations and their needs. I mean, this is it. Red tape, lack of transparency, at level of the IIB. I'm sure I can expand this list to be infinite, but that's sort of the main things that I can think of for now. This is the most important thing for me. This is what I need to know. On what grounds have these people been selected to be endorsed by the IOB? Is it what, just people who throw events and like disappear from the scene forever after that? Okay, WDSF like circuit of competitions to attract capital and government sponsorship. I predict they might create a knowledge base for general public. Breaking consists of the 4 elements. Collaborations with government bodies. I don't know, say like, okay, suggestions, great. Perfect. Because look, I'm not going to sit here and bitch about this thing without providing some, concrete actions to employ. Get consultation from the USA, endorse and support members of the US grassroots scene. And I'm also going to suggest a bunch of people that the IIB can possibly employ or endorse to act as members of the IIB or the USA chapter of the IIB. Wanda, sure, great. Smurf, great. Prevail, great. Gravity, great. Profo1, please give him a chance to do right. Who else? AMS, Heatrock, fuck it. Rahul, fuck it. Right, whatever. That's all you got for now. Next. Have some sort of way to include the youth within the organization. Create an IOB youth ambassador program. Endorse breakers under the age of 25, please. We need to highlight the voices of the youth, or else this shit is just going to be dead. It's just going to be a bunch of unks and dinosaurs fighting for government money. Great. What else? What else can we suggest? Release and have elections, have community elections for members. If this organization wants to be the next WDSF and it wants to really employ democracy and governance, let people vote for who should be in the council. I think this would be a smart move. It would give people agency and it would make people feel like they are actually included within the choices and the future of breaking. Okay, that's all I have for now. That was just a hodgepodge of information. That was just me rambling, talking about the IAB. I really hope that this isn't another case of the WDSF whereby a bunch of custers, a bunch of goofy goopers take charge of breaking and essentially troll and sort of fuck it up for everyone who's working at the grassroots level. Don't gatekeep it. Don't exclude governance from people who are really on the ground and doing the work. If there are people who are on the ground and doing work, it's most likely because they're doing it out of the good of their own hearts, not necessarily to seek validation from whatever random national governing body of breaking exists. You know, when the Olympics finish, like I imagine most of the governing bodies of these countries just straight up died. So what then, right? Just because your country doesn't have a governing body for breaking doesn't mean it should be excluded from the IOB, in my opinion. Anyways, that's been me. I said a lot of shit, so let me know what you think. Personally, I might just have to write a letter to these guys and let them know what people think. Could be lit, could be not. I think it's important, so this is why I made a video. Enjoy, check out my other shit, and I'll see you guys next time, okay?